Hi my friends, welcome to this video. I'm having a bit of a hard time processing the fact that it is already November. I feel like I kind of start to freak out around this time of year because I'm thinking, oh my gosh, have I accomplished enough of my goals? Have I made enough progress this year? Am I prepared for the upcoming holiday season? And most of the answers to those questions is no. So I think I just need to relax a little bit, and if you're also feeling like this, then maybe we could just take a chill pill together. So I'm thinking we bake some cookies, we maybe do some gardening, and we have a cozy little book review of this book right here, Steal Like an Artist by Austin Kleon. And as you can see, I got a lot of notes. So let's put our aprons on and get started. I find baking pretty relaxing as long as everything goes to plan, and I'll be honest, it's going to be a bit of a gamble since I've only baked in our new kitchen once before this, and my pavlova did not turn out because our oven is kind of a piece of crap, but I'm hoping these cookies will be a different story. This is a recipe my sister makes every Christmas. She always spends like 2 full days baking a delicious variety of cookies for the family. It's always so impressive and everybody loves them. This year I'll be spending the holidays here in Vienna and I will be missing Vanessa's cookies so much, so this is my attempt to bring a little of that Canadian Cormier Christmas overseas. My plan is to freeze them once I'm finished, and then I can take them out closer to Christmas because, knowing me, I'll have the good intention of baking for everyone, but then leave all the holiday prep to the very last minute and then have zero time for any cookie business. But this year, I'm trying to think ahead, especially since I'll be away from my fam and have to consider shipping times and whatnot. My family are the biggest supporters of my work, and since Vanessa and my mom recently got new phones, I thought it would be cute if I made them personalized custom cases with my artwork on them so they can be reminded of their talented, amazing, beautiful daughter/sister every single day. And that is why I was really happy to discover Casetify, who are kindly the sponsor of today's video. Casetify has the best customized gift ideas for your loved ones and allows you to create something really special. It was really easy to create the cases, and when they arrived, I was super happy with the quality. I made this one for my mom because she passed down her popcorn loving gene to me, and I made this one for my sister, which is a painting based on our trip to Italy this year. And since I knew they were gonna watch this video before Christmas anyway, I decided to show them their gifts over a FaceTime call.
Beautiful, I love it. Wow, the colors are so vibrant. It's gonna take me right back to that magical day in Italy.
Aha! Oh, you know me so well. I love it.
So if you're trying to figure out holiday gifts, these custom Casetify cases are perfect. They combine protection, style, and personalization. And if you visit casetify.com/BrookeCormier, you can get 15% off your order. Thank you, Casetify, for sponsoring this video. Flour. We can't forget the flour. And while we finish making our cookie dough, let's begin our book review. I bought the book Steal Like an Artist, 10 Things Nobody Told You About Being Creative by Austin Kleon around 5 or 6 years ago and recently reread it. What I like about this book is that it's short and sweet. You can finish it in a day, there's lots of pictures and illustrations, quotes by other artists, and yet it's filled with a lot of helpful insights and reminders. To begin, and this is an observation, not a criticism, but the book really only talks about stealing maybe 25% of the time, and the rest is more like advice for creatives who are feeling stuck. I don't know if the dough is actually supposed to look like this. It's a bit crumbly, but just gonna roll with it. Let's begin with the theft stuff. The overall message that Kleon is conveying here is that nothing is original and that all creative work builds on what came before. He encourages us to embrace influence instead of worrying so much about being unique. The way to do this is to study the artists we love, understand what makes their work great, and use that as inspiration in our own creations. He describes the pursuit of trying to be completely original as a burden, and I can really relate to that. In the past, I thought that in order to be a great artist, you had to come up with a unique style that nobody has ever seen before, but this idea was paralyzing. How could I create something with no references? My solution was to use my own photography as reference for my paintings, but even then, the style in which I painted the photos was influenced by the work I had seen from other artists, so there's really no escaping stealing. But what Cleon explains in his book is that the word steal doesn't mean plagiarism. It means drawing inspiration in an intentional and ethical way, to collect ideas, remix them, and make them your own by infusing your own personal perspective. He writes, "Honor your thefts, celebrate the people you stole from. The more you surround yourself with the ideas of others, the more you'll find your own voice." And he argues that giving credit doesn't diminish your work, it actually builds credibility and community. When you acknowledge others, you become part of a larger conversation instead of pretending your ideas appeared out of thin air. What's interesting is that I've found myself on both sides of the fence here. I have both stolen and have been stolen from. And I'll be honest in saying that my experience with stealing hasn't been a great one, but looking back, it's honestly my fault. Without going into too much detail, because we still have a lot more ground to cover, I created a series a couple years ago where the intention was to step out of my comfort zone and explore abstract. The paintings I created here were heavily influenced by the artist Jana Watson, whose work I adore. I made it known in YouTube videos and Instagram posts that she was the one I was stealing from, so to speak. But I think that the issue was that I didn't remix the work enough and I was stealing from one rather than stealing from many. I added my own twist by incorporating mushrooms which appeared to be growing out of the abstract, but in the end what I hoped would be taken as flattery was in fact not. And though she was really nice about it when she addressed the situation, it was really crushing for me to have upset an artist that I idolized so much. So this was definitely a learning experience for me. When you steal from someone, there's kind of a fine line between what's okay and what's not. Now I'm really careful about how I go about applying outside inspiration to my work because I do not want to feel that way ever again. On the other side of the fence, I've had my own work stolen, and I can tell you that my reaction to when I am credited versus not credited is very different. In the past, I have had people copy my paintings stroke for stroke and not mention my name at all, and I only find out because the good people of the internet recognize my work and inform me. And wow, what a wretched feeling. But what's not a wretched feeling is when somebody uses my work as inspiration and gives me full credit. Then it really brings a smile to my face. It's really flattering and heartwarming knowing that my work inspired somebody else to pick up a paintbrush and enjoy creating something. The rest of the book provides a lot of practical advice on how to boost your creativity or get going when you're feeling stuck. So here are some points that stuck out for me. First is to step away from the screen, which I think I need to remind myself more often, especially when I'm editing these videos. Cleon believes digital tools are great for refining, but bad for discovering, because staring at a screen often keeps us in an editing mindset rather than a creative one. It's funny because I use my digital studio for everything, which is a Notion template I created to keep my art career on track. But I also keep journals and notepads lying around everywhere because I find that that's how I best start an idea. Then once it's better formulated, I can find a place for it in my digital studio, whether that's the projects panel, inspiration catcher, or idea nursery. He also writes about practicing productive procrastination, which is doing something tangentially creative when you're feeling stuck with your main project. He explains that when you step away from your main task to tinker with something else, you often stumble upon new ideas that circle back and improve your main work later. Because when your mind wanders, your subconscious keeps working on problems in the background. And that's why I'm always telling you guys not to ignore your curiosities and only stick to one thing. I think it's important to keep all of your passions and explore them in healthy doses. And lastly, to show your work. He writes about how it's a lot easier to do this now that the internet's a thing, and that you don't put yourself online only because you have something to say, you can put yourself online to find something to say. When you open up your process and invite people in, you learn. I've found this to be especially true in my own artistic journey since I've been sharing my stuff on the internet for like 10 years now. I've learned so much about my own process and my work through sharing it with others, and I honestly don't know where I'd be today if I hadn't started. So don't be afraid to share the stuff that you're making, or you'll never know the incredible journey it can take you on. Really good. Really good. Not quite as good as Vanessa's. I feel like sometimes, you know, your loved ones just have that special touch, but really tasty. So my friends, I hope that you enjoyed this video, had a great time with you today. There are so many other points that we didn't get to in this book, so if you want to check it out for yourself, I'll leave the link below. It's a really nice little book to have in your art library because, like I said, it's an easy read. You can kind of flip it open and get some helpful reminders or a little bit of inspiration. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you had as cozy of a time as I did. And if you want to share some of your own advice or share some of your experiences with stealing like an artist, I encourage you to do so in the comments below. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, then consider subscribing to my channel, giving me a thumbs up. I kind of feel like I don't really say that enough. I need to be reminding everybody. I'm really trying to grow this channel. Actually, it was kind of a goal of mine to reach 100,000 subscribers by the end of the year. And I feel like I'm close, you know, I feel like I'm getting there. I'm really happy with the progress that I'm making. And I want you to know that I appreciate every single one of you, and I really, really thank you for being here, and I hope that you have a great rest of your day. I'm Brooke Cormier, and I'll see you next time.